Okay, this is how to solve an inequality with one variable. The first thing you're going to want to do is just pretend that the inequality sign is an equal sign and do the problem as you normally would. So I'm going to pretend that this inequality symbol is an equal sign and focus on isolating x. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of that 4 from both sides. So left over, I have negative 5x is less than negative 2 minus 4. Or in other words, that's negative 5x is less than negative 6, if I combine the negative 2 and the negative 4. Okay, now I want to divide both sides by negative 5, and I need to be careful here when I do this, because when I divide both sides by a negative number, this flips the inequality symbol. So on the other side, I'm going to have negative 6 divided by negative 5. The two negatives would cancel from the top and the bottom, so I have x is greater than 6 over 5. Okay, so to pay attention, just to isolate this a little more, focus on it. This right here, key point. This right here, that's very important. Flipping the sign here is very important. Let's figure out how to graph this. So the first thing I'm going to do is get myself a number line. So I'm going to go ahead and draw, and we'll make this blue just so it matches. All right, so here's my number line. I just got myself a regular line. I'm going to draw the arrows on it. So I'm going to put on 6 over 5 onto my number line. You could put other numbers if you wanted to. So like I could put like 0 over here. I could put 1 over here. It doesn't even have to really be to scale. The only thing you really need is the 6 over 5. Okay, so it says x is greater than 6 over 5. First off, note that this is just a regular greater than, and it's not a greater than or equal to. This means 6 over 5 is not in the solution set. If I plug in 6 over 5, that doesn't count. So what we do is we put a parentheses above this number. And then the other thing is I want to focus on numbers that are bigger than 6 over 5, because this says x is greater than 6 over 5. So numbers that are bigger than 6 over 5 would be like over here. Here's like 2 maybe, here's 3, and so on. All these are going to be numbers that are bigger than 6 over 5. So I'm going to go ahead and put my parentheses here, and I'm going to put an arrow going to the direction of numbers that are bigger than 6 over 5. Better yet, I'm going to go ahead and make this a different color so it stands out a little bit more. Parentheses like this. And this is how you graph the solution set. Sometimes you won't see a parentheses. Sometimes you'll see open circle and closed circle. So this is the same thing. This is another way to graph the solution set. And sometimes you'll also see it where you put it on the number line. I am not as big of a fan of this because it overlaps with the number line. And if you're writing in pencil and your number line is black, then it's hard to tell where you've graphed your solution set. But this is also acceptable. I like to put it above the number line just so it's easier to see. All of your homework is done on Pearson, so I believe Pearson uses the parentheses most often. Now, real quick, let's suppose that this was a greater than or equal to. Then instead of a parentheses, I'm going to need an inclusive bracket. The inclusive bracket is used whenever this number right here, whenever that's included in the solution set, which we would have if there was a bar underneath this symbol. There isn't, so for right now, our answer is just parentheses and then the arrow extending to the right. Okay, this is how you find the solution set to an inequality, and this is how you graph it.